museum. If you like semis, check it out sometime. So is this like a 68 or 7?
67.
67.
Yeah. She needs a little love.
Yeah. Looks pretty clean otherwise, though.
Yeah, I mean, she is a all natural, no restoration.
All right, so yesterday we got a new temperature gauge, we got a new upper hose. I fixed an oil leak on my oil pressure line, and we had to put a new toggle switch on the fan. So Jerome took care of my fan for me, and it's a little more test run here. So let's run it for a little bit longer. All right, so Chris has been working on the preparation on this block. So we do the sanding on the tin stuff with 320, sweat the oil and the contaminants out with the propane torch, masking. We will be doing the overspray on the ground cables. And this stays mounted, so we'll flip this back and forth as it's painted. And then also the ground cable on the front here. Now, I try not to get too much overspray clear out here, so we will actually hang that. But we will put this in the paint booth tomorrow. Single stage acrylic enamel. And the paint that we use is just acrylic enamel, single stage with some hardener, just so it dries good and is resistant to oil and gas. And it's just a shop line, which is a PPG paint. I believe the number is 3116, just a plain Hemi Orange. Alright, Chris is ready to spray it. I did all the pre-paint so we could get paint in behind there and underneath the intake and the valley pan and underneath the water pump housing. So let her rip. All right, let's put this engine in. All right, so we did a little test run. This is the first time it's been running in the car. So go ahead, Jerome. And we're kind of going through, checking the transmission fluid. All right, so we gotta wait for the weather to kind of clear up a little bit, but in a day or two we'll get this outside and we'll actually test drive it. So that's it for right now. Hey everyone, it's Mopar Keith. Let's go for a drive in this 1970 Roadrunner 383 automatic. All right, so the first year of the Roadrunner was 1968, and it became such a hit when they came out with the 69 version of the Roadrunner. It actually was the highest selling Roadrunner of all the years Roadrunners were built. So given that, I think 1970 Roadrunners are actually the most popular out of all the years. So they're all pretty cool, but 1969 kind of had just a ho-hum grill and taillights and had a pretty good stance. They all have pretty good stance, but in 1970 the grill got a little more mean looking. The taillights were horizontal instead of just squares, and a couple of other things that happened in 1970 is the engine packages changed a little bit, and then air grabbers were available in 69, but in 69 they weren't as functional, or maybe not as cool. So in 1970, the first year for the functional air grabber, and we actually put an electric actuator on this so it would work by electricity and not the traditional vacuum. So you can see right there how I got that to come up, and we actually have a remote control inside the car here, and just with this remote control, and then we can also make it go down. So this package was also available in 1971 and 72. You could get the functional air grabber scoop that was operated by vacuum. The air grabber in 1969 was operated by a cable. So a couple other things about 1970 Roadrunner. 1970 Roadrunner was also a base for the Superbird. So a Superbird is basically just a Roadrunner bird, and so that's why they call it a Superbird. It's just a Roadrunner, 70 Roadrunner with a wing and a nose. There's really not much else different on it. So 1970 is pretty unique. They also have hood-mounted turn signals. So you can just barely see them in the daylight here, but there's a hood-mounted turn signals and the engine call-out. So depending on whether it was a 383, 440, or a Hemi, it would have the engine call-out there on the inside. So 1970 is probably one of the best years out there for Roadrunners, and we're going to do a little driving around and show you what we did here at Noel Automotive. So what is your opinion about the hardtop versus the post car, or the RM21? So my personal preference is a hardtop. I just like that really clean look of the rough line. But a lot of people really like the post with the pop-out windows. So in the comments, tell me which you rather have, the hardtop or the post. What are the other things too? Like, so this is lemon twist. This is FY1 lemon twist. In Dodge they call it top banana. But what is your favorite color? Like a sublime, EV2, Tor red. Tell me what your favorite color is. Well, this has been fun. It's been a long project. The longest part is actually the waiting on the machine shop, but we did the full engine rebuild. Special thanks to Sperry Engines, Scott Sperry, and special thanks to Fountain Transmission for doing the TorqueFlite, and then also special thanks to my crew, so Wyatt, Jerome, and Chris. So this car has come together really nice. and we're going to load it up and take it back to the owner's house today. All right, so every trailer I get, I've had a few over the years, but they always have to have a left door, and it makes it a real breeze to load it here. So pay attention, Keith. There's that left door. And I got a block in there, so I know right where these Mopars go. And that's it. All right, we'll get her strapped down and get it back to the owner. All right, well, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the test drive with the Roadrunner. And be sure to comment and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next video. Thanks for watching.